Good evening, all, to this special episode of Anesthesia Connect by ISA Kerala. Um, a very warm welcome to this special edition of Anesthesia Connect, which is proudly presented by ISA Kerala State Chapter. It is fantastic to see everybody uh, joined us across Zoom, YouTube, and Facebook platforms where we are live streaming. And we have an exceptional dual session live today, which is interspersed with a kind of quiz. I'm privileged to welcome Dr. Sanish Vijay, who will who have dealt with the rapid sequence intelligence across the past few weeks. It promises to be an engaging look into our rapid fire decision making in clinical scenarios using artificial intelligence. And we also have Sudesh. Okay, I'm happy to welcome Dr. Sudesh also, who had been unpacking biostatistics for anesthesiologists. And uh, it has proved to be a valuable session for all young anesthetists and as well as young researchers. Now, I hand over the stage to Dr. Sanish Vijay, our clinical, our coordinator also, academic coordinator also, for taking ahead to this session.
Thank
Sanish,
you
sir,
very
welcome.
much, Arjun. It's been my pleasure associating with the ISA Kerala State Chapter. Ever since we started Anesthesia Connect in November 2025, we have been actually experimenting with our knowledge unpacking efforts. We have been trying to put knowledge in smaller packets. Along with the knowledge sharing, we try to make it interesting. That's why we clubbed the quiz session with each and every episode of Anesthesia Connect. Thanks to the organizing leaders, our ISA Kerala State Chapter President, Secretary, and our officials, webinar coordinator committee, and all. This time I thought after dealing with 5 episodes of AI for anesthesiologists, why not club it with our quiz session? So Dr. Sudesh also kindly consented to join the idea. So today it's going to be out and out ISA Kerala Kahoot quiz. Okay, but this will be packaged as a live interactive session with the panelist for the rapid sequence intelligence, that is myself, and biostatistics from Dr. Sudesh here. Okay, we are going to have 4 rounds. So I think most of our audience know how we proceed with the Kahoot quiz. 4 rounds. The round 1 will have 8 questions on AI for anesthesiologists. Round 2 will have 8 questions on biostatistics. And then we'll go to round 3 and 4, which will be double pointers. So the leaderboard can get upset at any point. So remember, as we always say, do give your username as first 4 alphabets of your name, followed by your mobile number. Now, this is very important because we need to identify the winners. So it's basically to help you out, basically so that you do all the work and somebody else should not go away with the prices, because today we are offering extra prices. So today the first winner is going to take away ₹1,000 cash prize from ISA Kerala State Chapter, and the top 3 winners all get e-certificate of appreciation from ISA Kerala State Chapter. Along with that, we are also offering anesthesia tools, that my education platform, 1 year full subscription for the top 3 winners. So you go get one of the top 3 places. You get all these exciting, these are something to go for. Okay, right? I know some more friends are expected to join, but we have announced that 7 o'clock is our start point. So let's start our session. I request those who have joined with the username of Roja, Viv, and all to log out, rejoin with the first 4 letters, alphabets of your name, followed by your 10-digit mobile number. Same applies to dear friend Miller also. Okay, fake names won't matter. It's fun to be in the race, but if you want to be on the podium, you need to validate yourself. Okay, right? Dr. Arjun will be helping us with the questions, and myself and Dr. Sudesh will help with the answer keys explanation. Okay, so let's start. 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. So participants to check out Kahoot window during the quiz for seamless experience that we usually say. Okay, this is going to be a special edition session of Anesthesia Connect, right? So we'll have 4 rounds. Remember, your nickname is very important. If you have not put in the correct format, this is an opportunity because another few seconds until we start with the first question, because I'll start the first question slightly later so that everybody can be in the race for the top position. The format is first 4 alphabets followed by your 10-digit mobile number and then click OK Go button in Kahoot window. Okay, I think this is being live streamed on our YouTube channel also. But if you are participating in quiz, I recommend you to go to the Kahoot window. Probably audio you can hear, but look at the questions, respond in the Kahoot window. Okay, don't wait to see on the YouTube and then go and respond in the Kahoot. Kahoot, pin is already displayed here, 837547. Okay. Remember, round 3 and 4 will carry double points. So you can always upset the leaderboard. Dr. Arjun, please take over because this is the last week's winners announcement.
The winner of the 1,000 rupees, who got 1,000 rupees sponsored by ISA Kerala, was Dr. Amala CJ from Government Medical College, Kozhikode, who has managed to be in the top of the leaderboard last week. Congratulations, Dr. Amala CJ. And on second prize of the first runner-up was Dr. Anjali Arvind from Anantapuri Hospitals and Research Institute, Trivandrum. A very warm congratulations to Anjali Arvind for coming onto the podium again. She is a very familiar name in this quizzing circuit. And on second runner-up, Dr. Teresa Jerry from Government Medical College, Manjeri, who has managed to grab the third prize or the second runner-up by a very good margin. So congratulations, Dr. Teresa Jerry from Government Medical College, Manjeri. So a hearty congratulations to all of the winners and all of those who managed to get into the podium and those who have not managed to get into the podium, but they gave a lot of good fight. So always ensure that for those who are participating and those who are trying for a podium finish, make sure that you enter your nicknames in the format as mentioned by Dr. Sanish, for the digits of your name followed by your phone number.
Okay, let's start today's quiz. Before that, by the time some of our friends join, I'd like to take a poll. What change do you wish to see in ISA Kerala Kahoot quiz? This will not carry any points, but you can feel free to give your suggestions. You want more questions? As of now, we are regular sessions. We are giving 10 questions. More prize money, more time to answer, or any other. If we are opting for any other, you need to text in the Zoom chat or YouTube chat. Okay, this is just a poll. This is not part of today's quiz. You won't get any marks for this. Okay, time's up. We'll check. 56% want more questions. Arjun, like from 5 we elevated to 10. I think Dil Mange more is the attitude.
So I think
25%.
When you have more questions, I think there will be a fighting chance to come back even if you lose a couple of questions.
That's a great way of looking at it, because today's session also will feature 20 plus questions. So even if you lose 1 or 2 by mistake, you still have chance to be on the podium. More time to answer. Okay. Any other? Luckily, nobody chose that option because people got eluded with more questions and more prize money. I think the ISA Kerala officials are also watching this. We'll definitely put this into our discussion. We always want to design the sessions depending on our audience. So you are the boss. So the better response you give, you make us improve the delivery of the content. We are also happy for that. Okay. One more poll. Just want to see how many people actually watched our previous episodes, RSI, the rapid sequence intelligence and biostatistics. Option 1, yes, all episodes. Yes, but I missed out some. Got to know about it from social media. So you are fresh joining for this session and just curious about the quiz. So these are only opinion polls, no marks. So your opinion will be much appreciated. Okay. Yeah, missed out. Those who have missed out some 41%, I would say all our sessions are archived on our YouTube channel. Do follow or subscribe ISA Kerala YouTube channel. Follow ISA Kerala Instagram page also, because Instagram page maybe in another few weeks, 1, 2, 3 weeks, we should be able to start live streaming on our Instagram, ISA Kerala Instagram account also. If some more of our friends or well-wishers decide to follow our Instagram page of ISA Kerala. Yeah, social media, the announcements are reaching people, I know. Just curious about the quiz. Yes, fine. No harm, because it's an open topic. Biostatistics and artificial intelligence, both are open topics. I think in the Viva table also, I used to tell my residents, like, you study biostatistics, going to be rewarding because you are sure to get questions on your Viva table, 1 or 2 questions on your OSCE if you are doing a DNB program, and definitely in theory part also. So it's a very yielding topic, biostatistics. AI, I don't know how much yielding it will be, but it's nice to know because it's imperative for our future practice. So here we go. So here, top 3 winners are getting the 1-year subscription of Anesthesia Tools, my dream project. It is, the app is available on Google Play Store, iOS App Store, and it's also available in the Windows platform. So the download instructions are available on www.onlineanesthesiatools.com. There you can get the link, whichever platform you like, you can install it. It's free to download. You can get some free contents also, but there are some tailor-made courses, paid courses, so which you can enroll by paying. The top 3 winners actually get 1-year full subscription of the entire courses, like a package which will incorporate the theory, the Viva, the OSCE, and my soft copy of my book, Review in Clinical Anesthesiology for Postgraduates. I am happy to share it. I think once in a while I conduct online quiz program. I thought, why not club it with ISA Kerala program? So here we go. Today, my topic is the artificial intelligence for anesthesiologists. Suddenly, this picture came to my mind, especially because last Friday I was in Dubai. Okay, so why I'm telling about Dubai is actually I was last Friday I was there in Dubai. Okay, and I happened to visit the Museum of the Future. It's a fantastic site. Artificial intelligence is all about future, right? This is the Museum of the Future in Dubai. It's worth viewing. You go there, you experience what they have showcased there, how a spacecraft looks like, how you feel when you are in a spacecraft, and how you see the solar system. It's a tech-enabled one. Here, the solar we are actually landing, and they have given the extensive future plan for recreating the Amazon rainforest, and the genomic prints of the hundreds of thousands of species are on display there. They have a fantastic blend of futuristic thought with blending with meditation and spirituality and all. 4 chapters they have designed. I think since I was doing the AI for anesthesiologist series last few weeks, I thought this is very fitting to remind you that the future is not far away. It's actually in your doorsteps. It's almost close to you. You are already embracing the future. So whatever Cyberdog or Cybertruck you speak about, it was in sci-fi fiction movies in Hollywood and all. It's actually a reality. You walk around, you travel around, you will see, you get to travel in Cybertruck in United States, the Tesla auto-driving mode. It's all AI-driven, and why not embrace anesthesiology, AI in our practice, in our curriculum, in our day-to-day life. Basically, I believe we don't have choice. We have to go along with it. You can see the robo, what we used to, South Indian, we had the movie Indiran, or translated in, or dubbed into other movies, other languages like Robo. Tomorrow is today. It's not a computer graphic generated one. It's actually there physically. So this is about the future, and I think I dedicate this session to the future heroes, the youngsters who are going to take our specialty through to new heights. Okay, thinking about AI for anesthesiologists, I actually searched around what's happening around. So I got Dr. Shashidhara from who is a trainer, FRCA trainer, senior consultant in NHS, to speak about what's happening in UK and the perspective. Here it is for your kind review. This will be a quick review of AI for anesthesiologists.
Hello everyone. The current reality is a severe surgical backlog in NHS history, and the integration of artificial intelligence into our operating theatres represent a true double-edged sword. Yes, the AI offers a transformative potential to ease our workload. However, if we deploy it blindly, it introduces profound risk to the patient's safety and our professional integrity. Let's first look at the good part, the predictive power and the effect on reclaiming time. One of the things AI does very well is pattern recognition. The predictive tools, some of which we already use, for example, the BIS monitoring, or the ones like analyzing the high fidelity arterial waveforms, which can potentially forecast hemodynamical collapse up to 10 minutes before it happens. This kind of things fundamentally shifts our practice from reactive panic to the proactive interventions. Administratively, the benefits are undeniable. Ambient voice technology, intelligent theatre scheduling are actively stripping away our crippling clerical burden. By automating documentation and optimizing list efficiency, AI can buy us back our most precious resource, a cognitive bandwidth, and the direct time with our patients, which can never be replaced. Let's now think about the concerns, the automation bias and its harm on training. However, we must rigorously confront these dangers. Our primary concern is direct patient harm driven by automation bias, the temptation to blindly trust a machine. Many of these predictive models are black box algorithms. If an AI is trained on a biased data or hallucinates a clinical variable and you follow its recommendation into a catastrophic adverse event, you answer the regulatory authority, the GMC, and the coroner, not the software developer. Equally critical is the devastating potential effect on our training. If closed-loop systems constantly manage our infusions and AI overlays the guide, every ultrasound needle we face profound skill atrophy. So we risk cultivating a generation of anesthetists who lack the fundamental physiological, clinical reasoning, and tactile muscle memory required when that network really crashes. So what is the way forward then? The path forward requires strict boundaries. We should absolutely embrace AI with caution, and we should be the people who make the AI workable for us by getting involved. AI could be part of what we do rather than a replacement. We must demand explainable AI from developers and mandate manual only rotation in our training programs so that the basic fundamental training is not replaced by AI. AI is a brilliant assistant, but the human clinician must remain absolute, unquestionable fail-safe in every NHS theatres. Thank you.
Okay, that was a quick review of AI for anesthesiologists. I think those who have listened to the talk will remember what I have tried to describe in the last few sessions. Okay, now we go back to Kahoot. Okay, time to start. I think enough number of participants are ready with us. Arjun, you can take us through the first round, AI Essentials.
Okay, so we'll start with the digital injection. So as we start our plane in the runway, we'll getting started with the AI.
This is digital induction.
Yes.
Okay.
So which of the following best describe machine learning in the context of artificial intelligence? So is it pre-programmed rule-based system that follow fixed instructions, or are they algorithm improve performance automatically through experience and data, or are they robotic systems that physically mimic human surgical movement, or software that translate natural language into computer code? So which of the following best describes the machine learning in the context of artificial intelligence? You have a few more seconds. And
Yes.
it's algorithms improve which performance automatically through experience and data. So I
think I'm happy that very few people went wrong with the very first question. So almost on the button. Okay. So this is the leaderboard so far. Adesh. Okay. Phil, Afri, Arya, Shah. I think some are looking familiar to me. First four letters we don't know actually. Okay, anyway, very narrow margin, only one question, lots to wait for. So about machine learning, it's a branch of AI where algorithms learn patterns from data and improve their performance over time without being explicitly reprogrammed. Unlike rule-based systems, machine learning models adapt based on experience. For example, learning to predict post-op complications. Okay, now some thoughts. Does AI really learn? Okay, we'll take a scenario like a 2022 study trained an AI on 6 lakh chest x-rays. Without being told what to look for, it independently identified pneumonia, pleural effusions, and early lung cancers, sometimes flagging lesions radiologists had missed. So what's the take-home message? The algorithm was never given the rules. It discovered them by seeing patterns across 500,000 images, like a radiologist who has done 6 lakhs reads, but in 3 days. Is it humanly possible? So this is what separates machine learning from a drug interaction checker or a flowchart dependent program. A checker looks up what it was told. A machine learning model discovers what nobody told it. Okay, could an AI have learned to be a better anesthetist than us? It's a tricky question, scary, right? But as of now, we can be sure that we have decades of intuition built into every clinical decision. Okay, can any algorithm truly replicate that? The look of the patient, the feel of the bag, hesitation before a laryngoscopy? Actually, AI may already outperform humans in specific narrow tasks, like predicting intraoperative hypotension 15 minutes ahead, for instance. But it has zero contextual awareness. It cannot feel a tight bag or notice that the patient is unusually anxious today. That humanization, the human factor is still missing. God knows whether they'll incorporate that also into the AI system. So could an AI have learned to be a better anesthetist? The real question isn't AI versus anesthesiologists. So I want all the listeners to be clear. It is actually anesthesiologists without AI versus anesthesiologists with AI. It's not about AI versus anesthesiologists. So definitely in this category, second group is supposed to win, and we shall all be in that group. So one clinical pearl so far is AI is most useful when it handles the monitoring so that you can focus on the thinking. You can delegate AI to take care of specific tasks, but not the holistic management. So you go to the second question.
So, an AI system predicts intraoperative hypertension before it occurs by analyzing arterial waveform data. It's an example of, is it an augmented reality? Is it telemedicine? Is it predictive analytics? Or it is cloud storage? Just tell
Easy
me
question.
what.
All the clues are
Yes,
there. it's it's about hitting the right answer there.
we must leave something to the fast fingers, right?
Okay. Yes. Oh, near 100%. Now, predictive analytics. This response was predictable, right, Arjun?
Yes, yes, yes.
The question was full of clues. So why don't you take it? But it's all about your swiftness. Faster you click on the right answer, better you score. So Resh remains on the top place. Afri has climbed up. Okay, right? Even Ashi has climbed up.
Yes.
Phil is still there. So it's a
Right.
nice looking leaderboard. I think this is just a
Tight,
beginning.
tight, tight
Yeah.
competition.
Yeah, it's, difference is so marginal, so marginal. Okay, this is about a predictive analysis. It uses patient data trends to predict future clinical events such as hypotension. Okay, now something that put for thought, brain that isn't actually a brain. In 2016, Google's DeepMind trained a neural network called AlphaGo to play in the ancient board game Go. Okay, it defeated the world champion not by following programmed rule, but by discovering strategies no human had ever conceived. So Go has more possible board options than atoms in the observable universe. Can you believe that? No programmer could write rules for it. AlphaGo learned by playing millions of games against himself, strengthening connections that led to wins. The thinking game is on. The medical neural networks do the same thing with patient data. No one tells the model if BIS drops below 40 for more than 3 minutes, flag it. It figures out from outcomes data on its own. Okay, neural network has thousands of internal calculations we cannot see. When it says this patient has a 34% risk of postoperative acute kidney injury, how do we know if it is right or why? This is the explainability problem. Newer AI tools are being designed with interpretable AI. Interpretable AI. They show which variables drove the prediction. For instance, risk elevated mainly due to pre-op creatinine and intraoperative hypotension duration, like that. So it has to be clarified. Regulatory frameworks now require high-risk clinical AI to provide explanations. But until that is universal, a useful rule of thumb, if you cannot explain why the AI flagged something, treat it as an alert to investigate, not as a diagnosis. So the clinical pearl, as every AI vendor Can you show me why it made that recommendation? If they cannot, be cautious. Take it with a pinch of salt. Next question.
So in AI terminology, what does overfitting mean? Does that mean a model performs well on training data but poorly on new and unseen data? Or an AI model that has been trained on too little data? Or a hardware issue where the GPU overheats during processing? Or where an AI system exceeds the memory capacity of the server? So in AI terminology, what does overfitting mean? So can have a
Oh, everybody finished fast. And again, okay, there is slight confusion. Anyway, I deliberately put this terminology question because as we read through the literature on AI, even from anesthesiology point of view, this terminology, we need to be familiar. That's why I intentionally put this overfitting. That means the model fits well on training data, but maybe on actual data, it may not. We'll see. Yeah, we have a new winner, but yeah, again, margin is very marginal. Now that all the people on the leaderboard have climbed up. Okay, you can see the upward arrow with everybody. Up and up. Way to go.
yes.
Okay, Arya has the highest answer streak of 3. We just had 3 questions right. So that means Arya got all 3 correct. Right? So this is about overfitting. When a model memorizes the training data too well, including its noise, and loses the ability to generalize to new patients or scenarios. In clinical AI, the overfitted model may appear 99% accurate in development data, but fail in real world use. So we need to be cautious about this terminology, overfitting. Okay, how do we protect our patients from overfitted AI? Vendors routinely present their internal accuracy figures. They'll come and say that we have tried tested in the model, trained and tested at large academic center, it might show 94% accuracy. That number means almost nothing for our patient because our patient population may be different or our setting may be different. The gold standard is prospective external validation, testing the model on patients from a completely different hospital, ideally in your own setting where you intend to use before you deploy it. That's why the FDA and the EU AI Act now require for high-risk medical AI. We'll come to that terminology slightly later. So practically always ask the external validation data, as which hospitals, as which patient population, as what accuracy was specifically in patients matching your demographics. If that data does not exist, the model is not ready for your patients. So the clinical pearl at this point, I would request you to note is a model's accuracy in the paper is its best case performance. Real world accuracy is almost always lower. Okay, next question.
So which AI-powered closed-loop system has been studied to automate propofol infusion for maintaining anesthetic depth? Is it automated lung protective ventilation, APRV AI, or machine learning models for predicting tourniquet time, or AI-guided epidural catheter placement robots, or closed-loop anesthesia delivery system using processed EEG feedback? So straightforward question.
Again,
which AI-powered closed-loop system has been studied to automate propofol infusion for maintaining the anesthetic depth?
Yeah, as expected, the majority hit the right answer. It is about the closed-loop anesthesia delivery systems with the EEG feedback. It cannot be related to lung protective ventilation or tourniquet time, epidural, and all. The context was different. Anyway, I am happy that you picked the clue, but anyway, like hitting the right answer matters. And this is our new leaderboard. Again, you can see progress with each and every one of the leaderboard participants. I think those who are just below the leaderboard also, they must be having the upward arrow. It's all about future prospects, improvement, going up. So Arya has the highest answer streak of 4. Congratulations. Okay, on fire. Okay, what about closed loop anesthesia delivery systems? They use processed EEG signals such as bispectral index as a feedback to automatically titrate propofol infusions. These systems maintain target anesthetic depth more consistently than manual control, reducing drug consumption and hemodynamic variability. Okay, that's the beauty of it.
So the next question, who is credited with developing the indigenous Indian closed loop system delivery system, or CLADS? Is it J.S. Gravenstein, Govardhan D. Puri, William Mapleson, or Michael Fisher? So who is credited with developing the indigenous Indian closed loop anesthesia delivery system, or CLADS? So
This is something as Indians we should know. That's what I thought. This is an extra
yes.
question. Yeah. So Dr. G.D. Puri is actually credited with the development of indigenous Indian closed loop anesthesia delivery system. Actually, that paper got published long back from PGI. Okay, it's very interesting to find that literature. Okay. Unfortunately, Arya didn't make any progress, but still on top. Okay. Yes, fine. Keep up the position. Keep going. So we have new names appearing in the leaderboard. It's nice to see. So the competition spirit, it's nice. That is the backbone of the quiz session, along with the entertainment and information. So let me put a word on Dr. G.D. Puri, Govardhan D. Puri. The CLADS was developed as an indigenous Indian automated anesthesia delivery system using BIS-guided feedback control of propofol administration. That paper came from PGI MEA. It's available to access. So it's very nice and proud to look into those details. Next question.
So the next question. So AI algorithms analyzing pre-op data have been validated to predict which of the following in surgical patients: the preferred anesthetic agent for each patient, or optimal surgical incision site, or post-operative mortality, major complication, and prolonged ICU stay, or intraoperative blood type compatibility. So which AI algorithm analyzing pre-op data have been validated to predict which of the following in surgical patients? Is it the anesthetic agent of choice, optical surgical incision site, or yes? So
I think today we'll have a tough competition because more than 95% people hit the right answer. Probably
yes.
because I have given enough clues from the question framing itself. Anyway, it's nice to know that the message is getting across to the audience. Like preferred anesthetic agent for each patient has not been validated so far, because when you feed all the pre-anesthesia checkup data, it might say this could be a possibility, but it's not yet validated. Optimal surgical incision site, I don't know, it's beyond anesthesia purview. Intraoperative blood type compatibility is again pathologist or hematologist purview. For us, it's the postoperative mortality prediction, the complication prediction, and the possibility of prolonged ICU stay prediction.
So
Scoreboard
anybody who
area keeps strong. Okay.
yes. So those who are waiting in the Kahoot or in the Zoom and not yet participate, you can still start. We have few more questions and you have an opportunity to come in the leaderboard also.
Correct.
So
correct. We have 4 double pointers also. So you can always upset the leaders, the current leaders. So the game pin is shown on the bottom, 837547. Go to kahoot.it, enter the game pin 837547. So preoperative AI risk models are validated. I'm not going to the details. We'll go to the next question.
So point of care UAC combined with AI image interpretation is being developed to assist anesthetists in which specific task? Is it for automated identification of gastric content volume to assess aspiration risk? Or is it a real-time blood gas analysis? Or is it for monitoring neuromuscular blockade reversal or prediction of anesthesia drug metabolism? So which one of is the point of care USD combined with AI image interpretation is being developed to assess anesthetic for a specific task? Is it for assessing gastric content volume or
yes? Again, the same trend. Majority hits it right. It's about keeping cool, because anesthesia is all about keeping a cool head. Though the topic may not be familiar, but if you keep a cool head, you hit the right answer. We go to the leaderboard. Yes, still the same set of people changing the seats, but Arya tends to remain on top. Good luck, keep it up. And good luck to Roja, Phil, Ashi, and Afri also. 4 participants have reached answer streak of 3. I think most of the people are hitting the right answers, but
Yes,
then why
yes.
the answer streak is missing? Okay, AI-assisted gastric ultrasound is something that is going to come into our practice very much because our exposure to gastric ultrasound to check the gastric volume, gastric contents is very vital. So this can automatically classify gastric antrum images as empty, clear fluid, or solid content, helping anesthetists rapidly assess aspiration risk, especially in emergency cases with uncertain fasting status. Okay, see, take a scenario like an emergency appendectomy arrives at 2:30 a.m. in the morning. Patient is in pain. History is unclear. Last meal maybe 6 hours ago. The registrar does a gastric ultrasound and an image on screen. Is that solid content or thick fluid? Under pressure, in a dimly lit anesthetic room, it is genuinely hard to call. So an AI-assisted gastric focus tool analyzes the gastric image in real time. It classifies into empty, clear fluid, solid content with a confidence score. In a validation study of 400 patients, the AI matched the expert sonographer accuracy in 94% cases. So what is the take-home message from this story? A trainee with the 20 gastric scans of experience can now get a decision support reading equivalent to someone who has done 2000. The expertise gap actually shrinks with the use of AI in the focus USG. A 2 a.m. decision becomes more defensible. So if residents always have an AI interpreting in the scan, as Dr. Shashidhara mentioned, do they ever develop the ability to read an image themselves? This is a tricky question. We have already seen de-skilling in clinical examination skills as investigation-driven medicine took over. Are we heading the same way with the ultrasound, with AI? AI assistance in every training may actually accelerate skill development. Okay, it's actually augmenting or helping out your skill development. Real-time feedback on whether you are correctly identified the antrum, whether the image is of adequate quality, whether the classification matches expert interpretation. This is like having a consultant looking over your shoulder every scan. So the honest answer is we do not yet know the long-term training implications, but what we know now is that the emergency application, the 2:30 a.m. story, the uncertain fasting, high-stakes decision is exactly the situation where decision support saves lives and AI adds unambiguous value. The clinical pearl take-home message: use AI as a second opinion, not a crutch. Keep doing scans yourself. Keep thinking. That's the take-home message.
So the next question comes, which of the following best describes the role of natural language processing or NLP in anesthesia practice? Is it controlling infusion pumps through voice command during surgery? Is it extracting clinically relevant information from unstructured text in EMR? Or is it translating anesthesia records into multiple languages? Or is it generating automated surgical consent form? So which of these describes the role of natural language processing best in anesthesia practice? So yes, we have
a divided opinion.
yes.
Extracting clinically relevant information from unstructured text in EMR. So this is the best described role of natural language processing. Imagine you have a previous record and then you get scanned and uploaded in the remarks in your electronic record. It will be there. If you don't go open that file and read it for yourself. But what natural language processing does is it will read through the previous images, PDF files, scanned images, everything, and then it will make a summary using natural language processing. So actually, most of the AI gadgets here actually allow you to interrogate. You can just text him, what was the creatinine in 1 month back? Or what was the ET tube used during the last anesthetic exposure? So with the NLP, actually the data becomes more interpretable, more interrogatable. So you can put questions and get the answer. No need to go through the entire length of previous investigation. Suppose a patient with CKD comes, maybe for the last 7 years, 8 years, maybe 15 years, they would have had creatinine, RFT, some biopsies, some procedures, dialysis, start, finish, and all. It's a whole lot of information. If your AI helps you in making a summary out of it with natural language processing, it makes a creative summary for which you can put questions and get data, then that's going to help a lot. Okay.
You have some change.
Small change. It's still on. I think the top 5 people are almost there. They're just changed seats. Okay. 3 more participants just hit right answer streak of 4. Good. We'll move ahead. I'm not going into the details, running through the time. This is the story of difficult airway buried in a previous clinical letter. So this natural language processing actually helps you to dig out that history and bring it over to your actual PAC. So this is the prelude to the next question, hypotension prediction index. Arjun.
So basically, hypotension prediction index is an FDA-cleared AI tool that alerts anesthetist or anesthesiologist to impending hypotension. So the what data does it primarily analyze? So we'll go to the question.
Ready to hit the answer? Your timing starts now.
So HPI, the FDA-cleared AI tool that alerts anesthesiologists to pending hypotension, what does it primarily analyze? And here are the options. One is CIP waveforms and urine output. Second one is real-time serum lactate levels from a biosensor. Third one is ECG ST segment changes combined with end-tidal CO2 or arterial blood pressure waveform morphology. So HPI, which is a FDA-cleared AI tool, what does it primarily analyze? I think some may be already using it. Sensor.
Okay. So it's about arterial blood pressure waveform morphology.
Meghna Sharma, who is using Zoom chat, you can log on to the Kahoot and you can try the answers there.
You can still do it. The Kahoot game pin is already there, shown on the screen. 837547. Go to kahoot.it in a Chrome browser or Safari browser, whichever browser you are using. Enter the game pin 837547. You still have chance because we are almost reaching 1/3 of our today's session. Today is an extensive session. Dr. Sudesh is waiting with his biostatistics rounds. So we'll proceed with the next question. I'm not going into the details. Okay. Over to Dr. Sudesh with round 2. Stats matters, data under pressure, making sense of numbers in medical research. Dr. Sudesh, your microphone is on mute mode.
Good evening, all. It's been a wonderful session so far. I think it's quite interesting to know how AI influences our anesthesia practice. And not only in that, even in research, actually, there are a lot of areas where anesthesia has been, artificial intelligence has been growing its tentacles. And we have already seen that. And it's actually, as said earlier, it's a double-edged sword. So we are trying to understand the implications of it. So therefore, we are very cautious when somebody submits an AI generated article, though most of the journals, including IJA, accepts contribution of AI to while preparing the manuscript. So it all demands that it has to be explicitly disclaimed that you have
disclosed.
used IA. Yeah,
explicitly disclosed.
It has to be disclosed. It has to be disclosed at what stage and what process has been done using AI in your research. So with that in mind, I think we'll move on to another tough nut to crack, that is our statistics. So hopefully the questions are relatively easy. We'll start with the first question.
Which of the following is not directly used in formal sample size calculation? So is it type 1 and type 2 errors? Is it the expected effect size? Is it the primary outcome measure? Or is it the confounding variable? So which of the following is not directly used in calculating the
This is one of the most fundamental things what we should remember.
and
yeah,
most-
that's been a good response for the
Yes.
first question. Yes, confounding variables is the correct answer, because when we calculate sample size, there are certain assumptions and certain things what we have to keep in mind. One, the prerequisite is that you should have a proper hypothesis, like what hypothesis are you having, whether null hypothesis or alternate hypothesis. And the next thing what we need to have is the primary outcome measure on which you are planning to calculate the sample size. And assumptions include type 1 and type 2 errors and effect size. And one more assumption what we do is the variance or the variations or the standard deviation what we are expecting. Confounding variables never contribute to the calculation of sample size. So we'll move to the next question. So I thought there will be some change because there's a change in the platform, but Arya still continues to rule the roost.
Yes, Roja, Birsra, and Afri, keep going.
Yeah. We'll move to the next question.
So on confounding variables, a study is being conducted to evaluate the efficacy of administering suzetrigine before extubation on postoperative analgesia. Okay, so which of the following would be the most appropriate primary outcome measure? So the study is being conducted to evaluate. So which of the following would be the most appropriate primary outcome measure? So will it be postoperative VAS pain score? Will it be the frequency of renal dysfunction? Will it be the duration of analgesia, that is the time to first rescue analgesic, or the frequency of hypertension? So we have a few more seconds.
I request the answer. Oh, okay. Oh, there has been an equal division between answer for A and answer C. Well, the correct answer is answer C, because see, if you see, of course, postoperative VAS score as well as the duration of analgesia, both are representative of pain, assessing the efficacy of postoperative pain. But when we talk about primary outcome measure, it has to be very, very specific. So when we talk about postoperative VAS score, it has to be specific with regards to time point also. Here, I just blindly selling primary postoperative VAS score will not be a correct answer. We have to be very specific, like postoperative VAS score at 12 hours or at 24 hours, because your sample size is being calculated on that particular outcome measure. So therefore, we have to be very specific. So whereas duration of analgesia is a very clear-cut word, where you just define that once you give the suzetrigine injection, so how long the patient remains pain-free, and once the pain reaches a VAS score of 3 or 4, probably you give rescue analgesic and you measure the time. So therefore, that automatically becomes the primary outcome measure, on which you can calculate the sample size. So this is a tricky question. So this tricky question has tilted the table a bit, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Shra is leading, Arya, Resh. So duration of analgesia and time to first rescue analgesia.
No. Yeah. This is the answer to that question.
Okay.
Answer. Okay.
So we'll go to the next question.
So be ready. So which of the following is a discrete variable? Is it episodes of PONV, heart rate, age, or duration of analgesia? Straightforward question. Which of the following is a discrete variable? Episodes of PONV, heart rate, age, and duration of analgesia.
So some breather in between, just to make things softer. That's been a good. That's been a good response. As expected, majority of them have ticked the right one. See, as we all know, like we have various types of variables, whatever we record. So they are classified as qualitative and quantitative. The qualitative variables are again classified as ordinal or nominal. So discrete means these are, whereas quantitative variables are again classified into discrete and continuous. Discrete variables are the variables where the parameter can be described in single numbers in the form of whole numbers. We cannot describe it in form of decimals. Not only that, those parameters cannot exist as decimals. For example, if you say age can be, for example, if I'm as on January 1st 2026, the age of a person can be 45 years. So suppose somebody is born in December, so it will become as on first, if you want to say the correct age, it will become 45 years and 31 days, and so like that. Suppose if you want to talk in hours, 45 years, 31 days, etc. So there is always a continuum in the data. Likewise, duration of analgesia, 1 hour, 2 hours. Between 1 and 2 hours, there is a lot of variables which can still occur actually. So somebody can have analgesia for 1 hour, 1 minute, 1 hour, 1 minute, 30 seconds. So anything, there is a continuum. So therefore, these values are called as continuous variables. Episodes of PME cannot be described in decimals, right? We cannot say that somebody had a post-operative nausea vomiting like 3.5 times a day, which is not possible. So that's why they are all known as discrete variables. And when you use discrete variables, they are all analyzed using chi-square test or Fisher-Exact test.
So small shuffling up in the leaderboard. Sra is leading. Resh, Roja, Arya, and Mut still there. Rini has got back in the game with 3 answers correct in a row.
Yeah.
So those who are yet to join,
somehow contesting hard. keep up. Come on, Arya, you have to catch up now. Arya and Roja. So we'll move to the next question. Yeah, discrete variable is the incidence of pain.
So a prelude and a study evaluating post-operative pain. Pain is measured using numerical rating scale 1 to 10, 1 with no pain and 10 severe pain, and grouped into mild, moderate, and severe. So this is best classified as. So this type of classification, it is best classified as a nominal variable, an ordinal variable, a discrete variable, or a dichotomous variable. So when you classify pain in a scale from 0 to 10, how will you classify it? When you make it as mild, moderate, and severe. Is it nominal, ordinal, discrete, or dichotomous? Okay.
Oh, that's been a very good response. So there seems to be no ambiguity at all in many of the people. Yes, it is the correct answer. Ordinal variable is the correct answer. So the thing is, here pain, you are classifying them as mild, moderate, and severe based on the severity. So for example, a score of 1 to 3 is considered as mild, 4 to 6 considered as moderate, and 7 to 10 considered as severe. So therefore, there is a particular orderly pattern that is followed, and if a particular number represents that, you understand. For example, somebody says pain of score of 7, that means you can easily understand that the patient has got severe pain. So that is what is all about ordinal variable. On the other hand, we have nominal variable, where there is no relationship between the two parameters, and they are indistinct. They are distinct and they are independent parameters. For example, age. For example, gender, male and female. Likewise, blood groups A, B, AB, O. There is no hierarchy or anything in this. They are two completely independent existing, and they have similar weightage in both the sides. So they are nominal variables. So what has happened?
All shuffling. All the 5 are still in the 5 places.
So Arya has caught up now. Good, Arya. Come on, keep it up.
Mala, who is not in the scoreboard, but he has an highest answer streak of 7.
Oh,
so you need to be a bit more faster, Mala.
Yeah. You have the concepts, but need to be faster. Your brain should strike faster. And Shra, you are doing very well. We'll move on to the next question.
So, in a study evaluating the effect of intrathecal morphine as adjuvant on 2-segment regression between 2 independent groups, the most appropriate statistical approach would be. So studies on, okay. So is it a one-way ANOVA test? Is it a test for normality and then apply independent sample t-test? Or test for normality and then apply one-way ANOVA test? Or apply independent sample t-test? So
this is a testing question. Let me see how people will answer.
Kind of a tricky one.
Yeah.
Mixed opinions.
Okay, mixed opinion. Well, whenever we see, basically, first let us understand what do you mean by the duration of analgesia. So, as I said earlier, duration of analgesia, it belongs to continuous quantitative type of variable. That means, as I told, it's in duration. Duration can be in minutes, can be in seconds. So, if you say the duration can be 1 hour, 10 minutes, 15 seconds, or something like that. So, there is a continuum. So, it is continuous quantitative variable. So, whenever we come across continuous quantitative variable, the first thing is it's not always necessary that all the patients will have the same duration of analgesia. For example, if I say duration of analgesia with morphine is let us say 10 hours on an average. So not every patient will have a duration of 10 hours. Somebody can have 10, somebody can have 15, somebody can have 24, somebody can have just 2 hours. So depending on the patient complaints and patient factors. So invariably we have this data. It can follow either normal distribution where all the data are close by to the near midpoint, or another way they can be quite away from the midpoint, which we describe as skewed data. So first we need to understand whether the data is normally distributed or skewed distribution. Based on that only we can decide what kind of statistical test we can apply. So therefore we should always test for normality first of that particular data and then apply the corresponding test. Now there are only two groups, that is morphine versus control. So therefore two groups, two independent groups, and duration of quantitative variable. So we apply independent sample t-test. One way ANOVA test is applied when you have more than two groups. For example, let us say you are comparing placebo with morphine with buprenorphine. 3 groups. When you are comparing 3 groups, you apply one way ANOVA test. When you are comparing 2 groups, you apply independent sample t-test. So that is the answer. So let us see.
The still keeping the place.
Yeah, Arya caught up. Arya is catching up with the speed. Anyways.
Roja, Afri, Resh, all there.
Yeah, but Mala still, yeah, you are doing good. You are really doing good. I think you have attended all the classes.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll move to the next question.
So, all of the following tests are used for statistical analysis of continuous variables, except paired t-test, Mann-Whitney U-test, McNemar's test, or one-way ANOVA test. So, which of these tests is used for statistical analysis of continuous variables, except? The options are paired t-test, Mann-Whitney U-test, McNemar's test, and one-way ANOVA test. Okay, and overwhelmingly correct response.
Yeah, correct. This has been a good response. I mean, most of them are very sure about and consistent about their answer. Yes, McNemar test is the one which is not used for continuous variables. McNemar test is used when you are comparing qualitative variables. For example, let us say before and after, especially you are trying to understand the effect of a drug on incidence of hypotension. So you can just record how many of them had hypotension before administration and how many of them developed hypotension after administration of drug. So that kind of a comparison you can do using McNemar test. So it is for qualitative variables, for paired samples of qualitative variables. On the other hand, pair t-test is applied for quantitative variables before and after intervention. For example, now you want to compare baseline BP with 1 minute BP after intubation. There you apply pair t-test. Like now coming to Mann-Whitney test. In the previous example we applied independent sample t-test between morphine and placebo group, right? So here we assume that the data is normally distributed. Suppose if the data is not normally distributed, there instead of applying independent sample t-test, we apply Mann-Whitney test. So that's about Mann-Whitney test. Mann-Whitney and independent sample t-test are applied for 2 independent groups, but independent sample t-test when the data is normally distributed, Mann-Whitney when the data is not normally distributed. One-way ANOVA test I already described. So let us see the scoreboard.
So Mutta and Phil has come back to the leaderboard. Shra, Arya and Roja remain there. And Mala has the highest answer streak of 9, but yet not in the leaderboard yet. But
yeah, but she's doing a wonderful job.
Yes.
It's just that she needs to catch up with the speed. So we'll move to the next question then.
So, which of the following regarding diagnostic test evaluation is true? So, sensitivity means the proportion of patients having disease among all positives. Or positive predictive value of a test is influenced by prevalence. Or sensitivity and specificity are directly related. Or negative predictive value, the person who tests negatively is truly free of the disease. So, in negative predictive value, person who tests negative is truly free of the disease. Positive predictive value is influenced by prevalence. Okay. So
there's been a good balance between the amount of answers. But the correct answer is positive predictive value is a test is influenced by prevalence of disease. Now, why the negative? See, whenever we talk about NPV and PPV, they are basically based on test. That means among the tested positive and among the people who are tested negative, how many of them really have disease or don't have disease is represented by positive and negative predictive value. On the other hand, the opposite of it is sensitivity and specificity, where the sensitivity is about the proportion of patients having a disease testing positive for that particular test. So sensitivity means the people have disease, but how much is the test sensitive in picking up the disease in them? So that is represented by sensitivity and specificity. On the other hand, the number of people having positive tests, but among them, how many of them truly have disease is represented by positive and negative predictive value. So, and sensitivity and specificity are inversely related. If specificity increases, sensitivity will decrease. Sensitivity increases, specificity increases, sensitivity will decrease. So we have to strike a balance. So a test is a good test which strikes balance with both. So Roja has caught up.
Sir, Roja, Phil, Resh, Arya. Okay. So, as a prelude to the question 8, a study compares thyromental distance and tongue volume thickness in predicting difficult airway. So, thyromental distance has an area under curve of 0.89 and tongue volume thickness has an area under curve of 0.68. What is the best interpretation? This is the AUC, comparing AUCs. So, which is the best interpretation? The TMD has higher sensitivity at all cutoff points, or TVT has better specificity at all cutoff points, or TMD has overall discriminatory ability, or TMD is more precise. So, area under curve, if you compare, which of them will give the best interpretation? You have around 5 more seconds. Is it about sensitivity? Oh, okay.
Oh, fantastic. There has been some unanimity in the answers, and 10 of them have picked up the right answer. Yes, correct. So area under curve is not about telling which is precise or which is imprecise. It just tells, the area under curve just tells which test has got, it just describes about the ability of the test to discriminate between yes or no. That's all. It doesn't say how precise, how good is that. The AUC that doesn't tell that, but we generate a cutoff point based on sensitivity and specificity. That is the one which tells which is more precise. I mean, or what is the optimal value beyond which the risk of negativity increases. For example, let us say if TMD cutoff point is around 6.5 centimeters, it implies that a person whose thyrometal distance is more than 6.5 centimeters has greater chance of failed intubation at first attempt when compared to those having a thyrometer distance of less than 6.5 centimeters. So that is what about AUC.
Only small changes. Arya and Sri have just come up.
Yeah.
Saroja and Ray still there.
Mala probably missed up this question, I think. I think this is the first question she lost.
She used to have a very good streak.
Yeah, she had a very good streak, seriously.
So after the 2 rounds, we have the third round, which is called the autopilot challenge. So which is based on advanced AI scenarios for the anesthesiologist. So anything, Sunny sir?
So, yeah, we are back into the world of AI from statistics for two more questions. These two questions will carry double the points. So, Maharashtra, Arya, everybody be like very alert, because every time you hit double the score. So you can upset the existing leaderboard. So it's going to be interesting. By the way, I can see many of my senior teachers as participants watching this live streaming. Very good evening to all. Hi, Madhu sir. Hi, Radhakrishnan sir. Happy to take your encouragement and blessings for the attempt to deliver the information in an interactive way, because this quiz, we designed the sixth episode in a quiz format so that we can actually explain what the audience wants. It's not like a one-way thing. Like I can see Dr. Sudhir very happily explaining each and every point, addressing to the audience. I think that's the spirit of this session. Thank you for your support. We'll move ahead with the double points question. Now, four more questions. This question is about machine learning. Arjun, please.
Okay, so a machine learning model trained on a predominantly Caucasian surgical population is deployed in South Asian hospital. So despite high reported accuracy, clinicians notice unreliable predictions. So which concept most precisely explain this failure? Well,
okay, because it's a double points question, I'll give you a few more seconds to get into the question.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody ready? We'll move to the next slide, then timer will be on. It's about machine learning. Okay. Model trained on a predominantly Caucasian surgical population, now is deployed on a South Asian hospital. Despite high reported accuracy, clinicians notice unreliable predictions. Remember, I have given the answer in the beginning of the session. Let's see how many of you remember it correctly.
So for double the points, which concepts most precisely explain this failure? Is it concept drift? Is it data set shift and algorithmic bias? Is it underfitting? Or is it hardware incompatibility between training and deployment servers? So which explains this failure? Is it concept drift, data set shift and algorithmic bias, underfitting, and hardware incompatibility between training and deployment servers? Quite a tricky one.
Now there is different opinions. So hit the button, take double the points. So that is the fundamental principle of this round. It's about data set shift, because it was trained in a Caucasian population. Now we are actually deployed in a different, like a universal set or a different population. And there is algorithmic bias also because of the population on which the AI got trained or the machine learning happened. So data set shift and algorithmic bias is the right answer. Let's see what happens to our leaderboard. Yes, great. Our toppers are retaining the spot, and Sri has climbed up, right?
Yes, Abir and Mutta has also entered the leaderboard.
Okay. And Jit is the highest climber. Climbed up 3 places. I think everybody is getting their position after each question. I think it will be on your mobile device. They'll get your position. Yeah, there is more to fight for or compete for. The game is not at over. 3 more double pointers remaining. Okay, I'm not going to the theory part of it. I think it's a good read for if you are an AI enthusiast. Data set shift occurs in the distribution of data the model was trained on differs from the deployment population. And algorithmic bias, a model trained on a predominantly one demography may have learned population-specific patterns that don't transfer. This is a major ethical concern in clinical AI. So data set shift and algorithmic bias. Okay. Yes. Next question.
So the next double pointer question. An anesthesiologist department wishes to implement an AI system for real-time intraoperative decision support. So according to current framework, like EU AI Act 2024 and FDA guidance, such a system would most likely be classified as. So how will a real-time intraoperative decision support system for an anesthesiology department will be classified under current framework? That is the basic question.
Okay, I hope everybody understood the question. It's about an AI system for real-time intraoperative decision support. Okay, we'll go to the question. Timer will be on. Here we go.
So for double the points, intraoperative real-time decision support system will be classified as a low-risk AI with no regulatory approval needed for educational purpose, a general purpose AI except from medical device regulations, a high-risk AI requiring clinical validation, and an experimental AI permissible only under Research Ethics Committee approval. So just have a look.
Yes. It is a high-risk AI because it's an intraoperative decision support system. So, according to the guidelines or the regulatory authorities, it's a high-risk AI. Without clinical validation, you are not expected to implement in a clinical setting. So, I think the words are actually self-explanatory, especially after you know that answer C is the correct answer. If you read back, it looks very simple. Actually, I have dealt with this in the early part
Last
of
week.
my description also. Okay, so AI double pointers are over. Now we'll see the leaderboard, and then I hand over to Dr. Sudesh and Dr. Arjun for that final two double pointers questions in round 4.
The gap between the leaders are shrinking every question.
Yes.
So very nice margin for the leader.
It's all about the microseconds in like in how they put the answer, click the answer.
Yeah. So it's still anybody's game. So be on the watch.
Okay. Fine. Round 4. Please go ahead.
So the significant showdown, we have a high stake biostatistics. And the double pointer from Dr. Sudesh. So the question. So a prelude, an anesthesiologist wishes to determine whether obesity independently predicts difficult mask ventilation after controlling for age, sex, and obstructive sleep apnea. So the most appropriate statistical method. So he wants to study whether obesity independently predicts difficult mask ventilation. So he has made control for age, sex, and obstructive sleep apnea. So which will be the appropriate statistical method.
Dr. Sudesh, shall we move ahead?
Yes, sir. Yes. Because this is a common study these days everybody is doing. So it's important that they understand what statistical approach they need to take.
Okay. And take double points for that, right?
Correct.
So for double the pointer, the most appropriate statistical method for the scenario. Is it a chi-square test? Is it a relative risk analysis? Is it a Pearson correlation or a logistic regression analysis? So we have already controlled some variables, but you have to check one variable for whether it is got an independent association. And I think
so they got the classes have been excellent. That's why people are hitting the right answer most of the time.
Yeah. Hopefully, sir. So yes, correct. See, we are actually trying to assess the effect because this outcome, many times there are situations where you cannot control the confounders. For example, what do you mean by confounding factor? A confounding factor is a factor which is present in the patient, which can affect both the dependent variable as well as the independent variable. So here the independent variable is obesity and the dependent variable is mask ventilation. So age can affect mask ventilation directly and obesity directly. Likewise, gender can affect mask ventilation directly as well as obesity directly. And even the OSA per se can again be in obese patients, or it can be even non-obese patients also, and affect the difficult mask ventilation. So therefore, we have to see how much each of these factors contribute to difficult mask ventilation. That is when we apply logistic regression analysis. So the output what we get is, there are two things. We get a particular number. That particular number is the one which says, for example, 1 unit change in, for example, let us say now we are talking about obesity. So let us say for 1 unit change in BMI, the risk of difficult mask ventilation increases by so much %. That is what is the one value what we get. And second thing, it shows the odds ratio, like each one of them. For example, the difficult mask ventilation, the obesity, the presence of OSA, and the age and the gender, each of them, how much do they contribute to difficult mask ventilation? So they produce something called odds ratio. That means, suppose somebody is obese, there is 1.25 times odds the possibility of difficult mask ventilation. So that way it generates one odds ratio. So these are the two particular outcomes what we are going to analyze. Whereas chi-square test, it just compares between the two groups, and Pearson correlation usually to establish correlation analysis. For example, height of the patient with the length of the spine. Both of them are continuous variables. So when you try to establish a correlation between those two, we apply Pearson correlation coefficient. So I think this has been quite helpful. We'll go to the next. So what's the score? Wow.
So everybody kept their prices.
Yeah, Shra is just held on and she's catching up. Nice.
Only one more question to go.
Last
but it's
question.
Again
It's a tiebreaker. Let us see who will. And Abir is on fire.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's nice. The last question.
Yeah.
So
thank you,
a
Arjun,
study
for those
conducted.
nice images, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So as a prelude to the last question, a study conducted to assess the relationship between duration of laryngoscopy and occurrence of sore throat revealed a correlation coefficient of plus 0.86. So the best explanation would be, so the study is about duration of laryngoscopy and occurrence of sore throat, and the correlation coefficient turned out to be plus 0.86. And what would be the best explanation? So here comes the last double pointed question of the day for double points. The best explanation of this would be, the variables have strong positive linear correlation. 86% of the observations are positively correlated. 86% of variation in one variable is explained by the other, or the relationship is causal. So a correlation coefficient of plus 0.86, which will be the best explanation. And unsurprisingly,
this is really surprising, and it's a pleasant surprise actually to say, because last two questions I thought it's a little tricky, and I'm so happy to see that at least 75% of the participants have answered it correct. So that's a good go, and I should really appreciate Dr. Sanish and the entire Kerala ISA team for putting up such a wonderful show and making the students keep interested in this. Yes, so actually whenever we come across correlation quotient, it just says what is the degree of correlation. It doesn't say what is the value. It just absolute value. It just says that there is a strong positive linear correlation. That's all. That means for every 1 centimeter increase in the thyromental, the chance of this one will be more. So it's just that correlation. That's all. It doesn't say how much per unit change will cause the per unit change in the dependent variable. So it doesn't describe that part, and it never establishes causal relation. Causal relationship means this one is the cause of the other one. The independent variable is the cause for extra dependent variable. So that is not the thing, isn't it? It's not the thing. So therefore, this relationship is only association. So whenever we do these kind of tests, they only establish as association. They never establish cause. If you want to establish a cause-effect relationship, then the best answer would be using our randomized control trial. So because where you can control every other variable, and so you can only test the effect of one independent variable on one dependent outcome variable. For example, effect of morphine and duration of anesthesia. So include only those patients who are particularly, like for example 15 to for example 18 to 50 years, and those who are undergoing elective surgeries only, and you exclude all those other patients, for example patients with respiratory distress, patient with cardiac, patient with renal, patient. So therefore here this morphine is not affected by anything else except for its effect on the receptors. So this then only we can establish cause-effect relationship, and therefore this is possible only using RCT. So I think there comes the end of our quiz, and I hope all of you enjoyed this entire thing. Yeah, thank you, Dr. Arjun, for that image. So we all know that, yeah. So whenever we apply correlation coefficient test, we get some value that is known as R value. So based on this R value, we say whether it is correlating or not. So whenever we talk about R 0.05, that means there is absolutely no correlation. R value can extend between 0 to +1 or 0 to -1. So whenever we have the value towards positive, that means it is positive correlation. If the value is has a prefix of negative sign, it is negative correlation. So, and as the value increases from 0.5, then the strength of correlation increases. So highest, if the value is 1, that means it has got absolute perfect positive correlation. If the value is exact -1, then it's a perfect negative correlation. And anything in between, there is some amount of a variation. So that's what. And when 0, absolutely no correlation. And there is a line which helps us to understand the direction of correlation. Whether if it is uptrending, it is positive correlation. It's downtrending, it is negative correlation. So I think now the R, as I told, it is plus 0.86. So it is positive correlation. Okay. So we'll go to the final interesting part.
So after this,
second. I need to erase clear all drawing. Okay, fine.
So after this special edition of Anesthesia Connect Special Edition Quiz, which almost lasted 1.5 hours, which excellent questions from Sanish sir and Sudesh sir, who have revised all the classes that we have taken from for the past few weeks. For that matter, we'll have a look at the winner of the quiz.
Yeah. I think as a scientific committee coordinator of ISA Kerala State Chapter, I feel extremely happy to host Anesthesia Connect by ISA Kerala on Saturday evening, 7 o'clock. It's a weekend time. It's a free time, but we don't get everybody gluing on to the screen for our live streaming. But I know the like offline viewers are more. So this is one way of delivering the information, like whatever we have discussed on 5 episodes, the 6th episode, live interaction, like if you come on live, so we'll get a feedback whether you actually got the message or not, or if you want extra explanation on a particular thing, we can always do that, because Anesthesia Connect works in a format like first Saturdays of every month, we'll have a case presentation or a live panel discussion. And beyond that, it's going to be a magazine edition where we'll have capsules of information in a series format, like A for anesthesiologists in 6 episodes. So this is the first time we are clubbing the 6th episode of Rapid Sequence Intelligence, as well as biostatistics from Dr. Sudesh. And we club the quiz session, which is much sought after for all our episodes. I thought clubbing these 3, we got a new product. I hope you enjoyed the product. Your suggestions, criticisms, and your advice, everything is most welcome. You can email to ISA Kerala State Chapter. With your permission, I'll go to the next slide, which should positively show our quiz winner. The top winner will get a cash prize of ₹1,000 from ISA Kerala State Chapter, and the top 3 winners will get the e-certificate of appreciation from ISA Kerala State Chapter. And the top 3 winners also will get one full year subscription of Anesthesia Tools app, which is available in an Android platform, our Apple iPhone iOS platform, as well as Windows platform. You can get two of these combination. You can have an Android plus Windows. If you want to see the literature, the document, the videos in a big screen experience, you can opt for Windows platform as well. So one person registering or downloading can have two platforms. Either iPhone plus Windows is okay. Android plus Windows is also okay. Okay, with that, let me go to the winners podium. Yeah, this is what I was mentioning about my educational project or app. Yes, podium. Here it is for you.
On third place, we have Abir, who have caught up. And second place, we have Roja. And the winner today with a good margin is Shra.
Yeah.
So
It's a
congratulations to all
commendable
winners.
position. Actually,
Yes, yes.
maintain the top post for a long time, though it was a long marathon like quiz with 20 plus 1, 21 questions to be frank. And Shra managed to retain the top position. Coming to the top position is an achievement, and maintaining it there
It's a bigger
great
achievement.
achievement.
Yes,
Bigger
yes.
achievement. So it's a life lesson. Like many people have come up from lower ranks to the top 5 and then made it to the top 3. That's also commendable. It's all about sportsmanship. It's all about enjoying your education.
Just learning in a different way. We all learn from everything.
Yeah. So, this is the way actually I think post-graduation and all we should learn in an interactive platform rather than unidirectional monologue or lecture kind of things. You should always explore a few points. In the classes also, I said like it's not a UG class. Postgraduate class means you need to get into the concept. You should know why this answer is right, why not that. What is the close missing link between or missing point between option C and B, and also it all matters. Our clarity matters most. Basically, I think anesthesiologists should be clear because nobody else in your institution would be able to monitor you. Your choice of propofol versus cetomidate, no surgeon, no physician, no gastroenterologist can dictate. Only you know about it. And ultimately, it's about saving lives and delivering a quality medical service, anesthesia service. So all the best to the what I mentioned in the beginning as future heroes. I know there are some present heroes also watching this live streaming. Good luck to everybody. Thanks, Dr. Sudesh. Have been a wonderful companion for me because last 6 sessions we were taking the episodes, one magazine edition of Anesthesia Connect throughout, of course, with Arjun as a backbone throughout Anesthesia Connect by ISA Kerala State Chapter. Over to
Thank you,
Dr.
sir.
Arjun.
Thank you so much. I think I should really appreciate the brain behind this program, who have been running this successfully so long, for such a long time, and which has been made popular across the nation, not only in Kerala, it's across the nation. It's been popular and sought after program these days. And I'm glad that I've been a part of this, and I was able to give some information and some knowledge to the students as well as the listeners. And hope, see, it's always a two-sided communication. It's not always necessary that I should be right all the time. So I'm quite open to suggestions or difference of opinion. And because that is the one, that's how we grow in knowledge. So that's how we grow. And I always take it with good spirit only, because after all, we are the field is always ever learning. We have to keep on learning, and it's a good platform for us to learn. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir. And I acknowledge the presence of Radhakrishnan, sir. Sir, good evening, sir. Thank you so much.
Radhakrishnan, sir, would you like to comment on our session?
Well, friends, good evening to you all. This was an excellent show. I congratulate you all as well as attendees. And best of luck to you all. Good night.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you,
very
sir.
much.
Thank you. And special thanks to Arjun for coordinating and keeping this entire program active. Saturday after Saturday, every Saturday he has to keep this program engaged and manage this. It's been a wonderful time having you all around, and my association with ISA Kerala always continues. And being a Malayali, it gives me a sense of proud feeling and prejudice. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much. Madhusudan sir, would you like to comment?
Sudesh,
Yes, sir.
without being a Malayali also, I am proud of this program.
Yes, sir.
That's great.
You know that,
I know. These boys have been doing a great job. Sanish obviously is one of the best. There is no doubt about that. And Arjun, your conducting the quiz was superb today.
Thank you.
And unfortunately, yesterday I told Sanish I haven't been able to find enough time to log in every Saturday evening. But today I made it a point. But then I realized how less I know. Anyways, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Keep going. Radhakrishna Sarai.
Thank you so much.
Good evening.
Yes.
Good
Good
evening.
evening. How are you? How are you
I'm
keeping?
good. I'm good. I will see you soon.
Glad to see that you are watching.
Yep.
Good, good.
Okay. Sure. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Take care,
Thank you.
guys.
Thank you then.
Good night.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Good night.
Good night.
Sudesh, good night.
Good night, sir. Good night, sir.
Good night.
Yeah.
Good night.
Over to Arjun.
So, I, on behalf of ISA Connect and ISA Connect and ISA Kerala chapter, I thank Dr. Sudesh sir and Dr. Sanish for this excellent session. And I also have to thank all those participants all around Kerala who joined us. And your participation is what gives us more power to do more quizzes. So thank you for supporting us. Thank you for always being by our side. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, with that, we can close the session. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. So with your permission, I'm leaving the chat. Thank you.
Okay.